So, in our today's session, we will be learning about the importance of charts reading and how we can draw a trend line, right? How we can draw the support and how we can draw a resistance lines. Deciding that this is the stop loss for the stock or this is the target price of the stock, let's take some clues from the market. Let's take some data pointers from the charts and then decide on the target or the stop losses, or the most important thing is keeping our risk under control. How we can define whether it is entering in more strength or whether it is getting weekend. So let me share my screen. As we are seeing on the screen, market trends. We normally have three market trends, which is uptrend, downtrend, and a sideways trend. And always the mantra, what we remember or what we should always remember is trend is your friend, right? Trend is your friend. Try to be in those stocks or try to be in those sectors where the momentum is there or where the trend is continuing, right? Where the trend is continuing. So, among these three trends, one is an uptrend, downtrend, and the third you have is a sideways trend, right? A sideways trend. Now, trend line. What exactly means trend line? Trend line is a straight line that connects two or more low or high price points and then extends into the future. So, if it is a upward momentum market, so you connect all the dots here. So, any straight line which is drawn by connecting two or more low or two or more highs, then a proper trend line is formed. The same applies to a downward trend line also. And what is the importance of a trend line? Let's look at an example. If I open up Nifty 50 chart, so because of various reasons which is happening in the Indian stock market, be it like FII outflow, because of the uncertainty of the government, right? They do not know which government will be forming, or they wanted a clarity on the governance wise. So maybe post June 4th, we can expect some good FII money also coming into the Indian market. From there, we can see a very good move in the Indian market, right? And India VIX, which is the volatility index, is still above 20 levels. So we have to be a little bit cautious in aggressively investing into the market. So if you wanted to know what is the direction of the overall market, right? So either you take your Nifty 50 index or you look at Nifty 500, which is a combination of the entire segment, right? Entire segment. Or you look at Bank Nifty, mid cap or small cap index, whichever index you are looking at. So now I see Nifty 50 is almost in a sideways kind of a market, right? It is in a sideways kind of a market, not a proper trending market, neither a proper uptrend market or neither a downtrend market. So what I will do, basis on the charts or the technical information I have here, I would draw a trend line and I wanted to build a channel for it. So what I will do, I'll go to the tools here in TradingView and I will select the trend line, and the shortcut is Alt plus T, right? Alt plus T also you can draw. So I pick up the trend line. So I'll be connecting the dots, right? See what I require, I need two or more points to connect. So if you see here, yes, I've connected here, I've connected here, I've again connected in March, April. So this is a trend line which I've drawn. And let me draw another trend line. Yes. So if you see here, yes, this is another trend line which I've connected the dots. So now what you are seeing here is we are observing a particular channel formation, right? A particular channel formation from almost December. which means in the last 5 months, this is the channel which we are able to see, right? This is the channel which you are able to see. And at these levels of 21,981, if the stock is, or if the stock or if the sector, whatever you are analyzing, if it is going below it, it is breaking down the trend line, or it is breaking below the channel, which can become little weak. But yes, it has formed a base here on 9th May, 10th, 11th, 13th, and even on 14th, it has formed a base and it is slowly reviving, which is a good sign, right? Which is a good sign. And yes, as long as Nifty is moving and if it is breaking out this channel on the topmost side, we can clearly say a strong bull market is going to come. Yeah, a strong bull market is going to come, right? So any stock which you're analyzing, this trend line will give you a clarity on the uptrend or on the downtrend. It gives you a clarity. Now, what we will do, let's study about the support and resistance, right? Support and resistance. Now, this is where majority of the investors or traders gets confused. And what we need to do is, right? What we need to do, wherever you are sitting or wherever you are standing, right now, your flooring is your support, right? Your flooring is your support and your ceiling is your resistance zone, right? Is your resistance zone. And when you take an uptrending market or a downtrending market or a downtrending stock, so support is a level where buying interest is sufficiently strong to overcome selling pressure. So if you see here, this is the support line. We have support line here. We have a support line here. So whenever the stock has increased and started declining, it again formed a base and it is again restarting. So this is called as a support. And whenever it hits the ceiling, right, this is called as the resistance. Right? This is called as the resistance. And in order to draw the support and resistance lines in your trading view, right, in your trading view, like how you have drawn a trend line, you'll be connecting the dots, right? You'll be connecting the dots. So now what we will do, like how support is a level where your buying interest is sufficiently stronger to overcome selling pressure. And similarly, resistance is the level where the selling pressure overcomes buying pressure, right? Your selling pressure is overcoming the buying pressure. So from the resistance, it has declined. So the same concept, let's look at practically with more examples, right? With more examples. Now, let's draw the resistance and support lines for Nifty 50. Right, Nifty 50. You can draw resistance support either on a daily time frame, on a weekly time frame, or on a monthly time frame, right? Any time frames, like how you have drawn trend line, a straight line connecting two or more points. Support and resistance also, we have to connect two or more points. So I'll go to the trend line tools here. The shortcut is Alt plus H, or you can just select the horizontal line, right? You just select the horizontal line. And if you see here, from the present levels of where Nifty 50 is, March it has touched 22,500, again April, and again in the first week of May it has touched and it has started declining. So now from the present levels, we are at around 22,200. If Nifty 50 is able to breach 22,500 levels, it will be a clear bull market, right? So this zone 22,500 is the resistance zone, right? Is the resistance zone. And what is the support, which is your ceiling? You again go back to your trend line tools. You select the horizontal line. And if you connect the dots like this, right, which is touching January, again in February, March, April, and here, if you see here, your 22,100 levels, right? Or even you can bring it down to this level which is also touching your December, right? The majority of the points which it touch, it is a more stronger support, right? It is a more stronger support, which means this index, or if you're analyzing a particular stock, even if you see here, this index has advanced, and from December, again it has declined, again it has started attempting, right? Again here in March, it has found a support from this level of 21,790, or you can read it as 21,800. It has again started moving. Again on 19th April, it found a support and again moved. So now, if Nifty 50 is moving below or breaking down below 21,790 or 21,800, it can become more weaker, right? It can become more weak. And even, yes, to differentiate between the lines, if you have drawn your resistance with blue, you can select the support line, go to this line tool colors and change it to red. So you get a clarity that yes, your red line is your support and your blue line is your resistance. So let's take a couple of more examples, right? Couple of more examples. If you look at BSE Limited, yes, Bombay Stock Exchange, right? Bombay Stock Exchange. So I'll go to the Trendline tools. I'll select the horizontal line. And if you see here, yes, this is very, very interesting, right? I'll go little bit back in the time zone, right? Little bit back in the time zone. So when you are at around March levels, right? During this period, well, let's suppose we are on 28th March or 1st April, like that. So this line, your red line, is your resistance, right? Yeah, is your resistance. Let me keep it in blue, right? This is your resistance. Why? The stock has tried to advance during November. It got failed. Again attempted in December. It got failed. Means, what did we study? Resistance is the zone where it is resisting, right? Where it is resisting that particular level. And it is again coming back. So it has again come down. Again in February 2024, it has attempted, but again it got resisted, right? And again it has attempted in the end of March, it got resisted. But if you see here, April, it has started moving. On 1st of April, this resistance line of R, it got broken, which means that is a confirmation that it is entering into strength. Remember, whenever you draw your resistance zone and when the stock is trying to break that resistance zone and move up, so that is a stronger stock. Means the buyers are more than sellers, right? Buyers are more than sellers. So if you see here, during this period, 28th March or even 1st April, when it is breaking out this resistance zone, this is a good confirmation for you. Yes, it is entering into strength. Second confirmation, volume. If there is a very good volume that is being accumulated, which means more number of buyers. We want to be on the shoulders of giant, right? If you wanted to enter into a wonderful company, you want to be on the shoulders of a giant where your journey will be very smooth, right? Where your journey will be very smooth. So this is a perfect entry point. And now on the contrary, right? Now on the contrary, sir, yes, we have been discussing on the upward zone. What if it fails, right? What if it fails? So we'll go to the trend line tools. We'll select the horizontal line. And if you see here, yes, this line, I'll keep it in red. So this is your support, right? This is your support. So here, even you can little bit move it up, right? You can little bit move it up so that this candle low is also touching. And here also it is touching, right? So you are just connecting majority of the dots, right? You are just connecting majority of the dots. So yes, this stock has advanced. It has found a support, right? It has found a support. Again, buyers have given strength, then sellers, it has started moving. it has touched its resistance. Again, it has found a support, moved up, right? Again, it has found a support and has moved up. So anytime when you have drawn the support line, if it is breaking down below the support line, it is a sign of weakness. So during this period, if you observe, right, I'll just erase this period and I'll just give you a understanding here, right? Here, if you see, it found a support and it has moved up. So you got good number of price movement, which means buyers were able to take the stock up, and even you got your green candles, which means people have purchased the stock. Contrary to it, right? Contrary to it, just for a assumption, right? Just for an assumption, if you look here, if the stock has declined below the support line, if the prices started falling down, and even the volumes are with red bars, which means these people are sellers. So the sellers have taken the price down. So during that period, right? During that period, you exit. When the stock is declining below the support zone with a heavy volume, it is an exit for you. When the stock is advancing above the resistance zone with more buyers, that is an entry for you, right? That is an entry for you. Or if you are already there, you have to add more, right? You have to add more. Now what we will do, let's go a little forward in the time zone, right? Let's go a little forward in the time zone. So from April 1st, we are going to the current period, right? We are going to the current period. So now what happened, right? What happened? So once the stock has moved above 2557, which it has crossed its resistance, right? Again, on 13th May, right? On 13th May, it has made this line as its support, right? As its support, yes. From 1st April, it has moved almost till 8th, 9th April. Again, it has been flat, right? Again, it has been flat. And now, at present, if I need to draw support and resistance, let me go to the trend line. So if I connect all these dots, right? If I connect all these dots, let me keep this with another color. So it will be easier for you to distinguish, right? So on 4th April, during this entire month, in the entire month of April, your price point of 2925, right? 2920 or 2925. Yeah. So if you see here, yes. So let me make it little broad. Yeah. If you see here, this price point of 2900 level has been acting as resistance, right? So your 2900 price point is acting as strong resistance. So now at the present juncture, your 2900 is your resistance zone and 2557 is your support. So I want you to understand this. Couple of sessions before, right? So before April, whatever level 2557 has been your resistance, now it has turned into a support level, because yes, it has moved, it has again found a support here and it has started. So now for BSE, if it is able to cross 2900 level with some good volumes, it can be a very good entry point. And from here, it can pick up very good strength, or even whoever are already holding, we need to wait till it crosses its resistance to pick up strength. But on the contrary, right? On the contrary, if it is moving down in strength and it is breaking out this level, we have to be a little bit cautious, right? We have to be a little bit cautious. And if it is further breaking down, we have to be more cautious. So the support and resistance will help us to understand more about the companies for addition, adding, deletion. Even let me take more examples, right? Let me take Coal India. Coal India is one of the stock where it is a more dividend yielding company, right? Almost every year It's a dividend yield of around 5.48 percentage, right? Dividend yielding company. So right now, if you see the setup, it is almost in the sideways zone, right? It is almost in the sideways zone from almost your from when? From almost your February levels. And this level of 470, right? 470 has acted as a very strong resistance from almost last 3-4 months. So we draw our resistance line by using the Trendline tool, and if it is able to break out this resistance, it can further pick up more strength, right? Further pick up more strength. And sir, where I have to be more careful? Yes, draw your support line, go to the horizontal line in your Trendline tools, and if you draw your support line here, which is on Jan 24, it has connected. Again in March, it has connected. Because of any reason, it is declining. Anything below 414, it can be more weak. And even sir, I wanted a very nearest support line, right? So if you connect here, yes, you can just expand your chart. If you see here, so 440 is the nearest support line, right? Because it has formed a support from almost all this period. So I would call your 440 rupees as your first support, S1, 414 or 415 is your support 2, and 470 is your resistance 1. And if you draw one more line like this, connecting this dot, this can be your R2. This can be your next resistance. So your resistances are nothing but your target prices, and your support levels will be your stop losses, right? Support levels will be your stop losses. Okay, perfect. And let me take one more example, Markson's Pharma, right? Markson's Pharma. So if you see Markson's Pharma, yes, has been almost in the sideways from almost 6 to 7 months, and this zone of 174 has been a very strong resistance, right? Not even 174, 170 levels, right? 170. And even you look here in December, January, again in February, March, April, it has been a very strong resistance. Yesterday, yes, it has started moving. It has given a 3.9% move. Volume could be much better, right? Volume could be much better. But yes, if it is breaking out this zone, it can pick up more strength, right? It can pick up more strength. So this is its immediate resistance. And if you need to draw a support line, right? Yeah, if you just connect the dots from almost November, again, it has found a support here. January, it found support, February, even in March. So anything below 145 or anything below 150, it can become more weak, right? So if we go back time below this time frame, we go back little before in March, right? So this is a very strong support. It has breached below it. So here, yes, on 2 days or even 3 days, it has moved below its support level. We'll be very cautious. That is where you reduce. It's further weakening, we reduce. Instead of just leaving it on a qualitative basis, this is a particular system you are developing. And yes, in another couple of days, it has started again recouping. So yes, even if here, if you have reduced your position or even if you have moved out, after it has moved above its support line, again you can re-enter if you have your confidence on this company, if you have studied it. So right now, yes, it is trying to move. Anything above 170, it picks up. Yes, it is able to break out the resistance. The buyers were able to break out almost a 6 months resistance zone, right? So that's the power of resistance and support levels, and it is subjective, right? So some person, for example, yeah, let me explain you that also. Someone says, sir, you have kept 171 as the support, but when I connect the dots, it is coming as 165. So let's say someone says, sir, instead of 171, I think it is 165. What you can do, you just double click on this line, right? You double click on this line and you can just mention here as 165. So you draw your support line, you draw your resistance line exactly at 165, right? Or even, sir, I think this is coming to me at 175, right? So yeah, I wanted to connect this dot also, right? So this is subjective. So plus or minus few points here and there, it is fine. So whoever have taken a 175 as a resistance, you are missing out on December. It is from January to the latest April wise. This is also fine. Or you double click on it and you keep 170 as the resistance zone. You're even touching December, right? So there is no right or wrong, just the subjective difference between person to person who looks at the chart, right? Who looks at the chart. And in order to master charts, in order to master technical analysis, you have to practice more and more companies every day, right? So every day, regularly, I track more than 50 or 60 plus charts, right? From the last many years. So yes, whenever I see a chart or whenever I see a company, I'll be able to see what is the resistance, what is the support level, how is the trend line, whether it is a bullish or a bearish, whether there are more up days than down days, I'll be able to identify. But someone who are starting out, I want you to have a habit of at least analyzing daily 5 stocks and above. 5 is the lowest I have given you, right? 10 and more above. At least have that habit, then you get some hands-on experience on it. Okay? So I hope everyone loved this discussion, and this understanding or this learning what you have learned will be beneficial if you practice it, right? Practice on the charts. Okay? Thank you.